What's good, everybody? It's Big Game James, man. I'm back in the building. You see the star on the helmet, you see the star on the back. You know what we rep around here. But it's time to get those high school interviews popping. It's summertime. You know, we're going crazy. And this is the time to get the who's who out here. And I got another dog on the plate. We had a great interview with Aiden Rocky Jones. Go check that out. Washington Courthouse. He's doing a lot of big things. And this kid, Jacob Slack, keep your eyes on him. He's going to make some waves coming in the future. But without further ado, kind of introduce yourself, Jacob, and kind of give a little background before we jump into the interview.
My name is Jacob Slack. I'm from Ohio, obviously Central Ohio. I go to Orange. I play linebacker and I wrestle as well. So it's kind of really
Nice. I like that. I like that wrestling in your background. We're going to talk about that here in a minute anyway. So that's a good thing. So let's jump right into it, Jacob. Now, just what from me watching your tape, Orange, I actually had Justin Murray. You know, you say you and Jess are cool. Justin Murray was on there last year for me, and he's Orange. But let's talk about you because he was playing defensive end, linebacker, that type. But you play the middle linebacker position. Now, when I watched you on film, you look like a real natural at the position. Now, one thing I always ask the kids, like, do you want to play that? Obviously, every kid will say, I'll play anywhere. I'll play wherever the coaches put me. But is that a type of position that you want to hone in and perfect? And if so, tell me why.
Yeah, so that's really like my main position. That's the one that I really want to perfect. I mean, I also long snap, but like that's like my main position. So like the reason why I kind of want to perfect is because like I look up to my cousin because he was a really big recruit back when he was in high school, and he's taught me so much. He's a college coach now, and I just really like the position. It always like worked for me. I've been playing it from middle school all the way up until high school.
Nice. So yeah, so you should be an absolute dog if you say you've been playing that since middle school and high school. Now, some people play little league football, some don't. Now, if you played little league football, was you kind of always a defensive type player? Did you play offense or defense? Are you defense by nature?
So they they had me on offense playing line because I was a bigger child. But
Right.
I started playing more defense, and then I like worked my way up, and I thought linebacker would be kind of cool to play. So I decided playing that, and it kind of snapped naturally to me.
Right. He wrestles, he plays defense, he likes to hit you. So just get ready, y'all. He coming for you. You know what I mean? But let's talk about this. So obviously you're going to be a junior this season. You got 2 more years to, get bigger, stronger, perfect your craft like you were talking about. But let's talk about some expectations maybe you have for yourself and your team for the upcoming season. And what is one thing you want to accomplish besides the ultimate goal, obviously, is winning a state title. But what's one thing you really want to accomplish this year for yourself or maybe even for your team?
So I want to kind of accomplish kind of like getting those school records for me because like I really looked up to that. Like Bryce Houston, he's from Ohio University. I look up to him because he came from our school, and I really want to put up those numbers as well as I like for our team. I kind of want us to beat all of our rivals because we beat the two of our rivals, but we missed out on one of them, and we need to beat them this year. So that's what I really want our team to do.
He said we need to beat them. And what team is that? So we know, so all the people know too.
On Tangi Berlin.
Oh, wow. So they like right around the corner. So it's like Pickerton North, Pickerton Central, that type thing, right?
Oh yeah.
So I know that's hot and heavy. So that's real. That's a real rivalry. You feel me? So
Yeah.
now, did you guys? Is it like a win streak against you guys, or did they just get you last year?
So they've had a win streak against us, and like we've been putting in so much work this year to beat them, and like sometimes we break on BH, and they're like it stands for Bear Hunter, so their mascot is the bear, so that's why we break on that sometimes. But yeah.
Hey, I totally understand it. Rivalries are good, and that's what brings the best out of you. You feel me? More than
Oh yeah.
anything else. So we'll definitely be checking out on you. Make sure you get that victory, because if you do, we're gonna make sure we bring you back on so you can talk about that victory. You feel me?
Oh
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? So before we really got into the interview, you said a little bit about wrestling. Now, um, you said you wrestle. Now,
Mhm.
one thing I want to ask you: do you think that helps you on the football field? And because I know a lot of defensive linemen that wrestle, I know they say that that gives them advantage. And I've actually seen college guys go into the pros and they had that wrestling background. It helps them have the advantage over other people because of the grappling, the style, and things of that nature. Can
Yeah.
you say that wrestling has helped you at the linebacker position? And if so, how? Kind of break it down to us.
So yeah, I think it definitely helps like a ton. Like I love how it helps me. Like there's three really like big things to it. Like college coaches, they love linebackers who wrestle, and then also you're able to go for 4 quarters. Like because wrestling matches, you normally like you're dying at the end of it, and then like in football, you could go all 4 quarters. And also just like the tackling aspect of it, like
Mhm.
just taking people down. It's like a hot knife through butter. It makes it a lot easy.
Yeah, and now that you said that, I had always thought, with the line play, but now that you said that, because especially wrestling is grappling. I mean, you have to be able to get that guy and take him down. So the technique has to be really honed in what you do. So I can see how that correlates to the football field because it's about technique as well. You can have the ability, but when you have the technique with the ability, it takes you to a higher level. So I can definitely see where you can say you ain't missing a lot of tackles because once you get your hands on them, you know how you're taking them down. Now,
Yeah.
let me ask you this, Jacob. How long you been wrestling?
I've been wrestling since 7th grade.
Oh, okay. So this is serious with you then.
Oh yeah. Mhm.
Now, let me ask you this. Are you trying to pursue that in college as well? And if let's say you get a scholarship, right? You're playing football. Would you try to
Yeah.
wrestle too?
Um, Not so much as I am with football. Like I
Okay.
really get recruited for football, but if I do get that double offer from both, then I could do that. Yeah.
Okay. 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 All right. So let me tell you, what do you really love about wrestling? Because I just want to ask you that. What do you really love about wrestling? What got you into it?
So I've had two cousins that both won states in Pennsylvania,
Hmm.
and they went on to uh, do college wrestling. And
Hmm.
also, like, I just like the rough and tumble nature of it, kind of, because you could just unleash there. It's awesome. I love doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I, it's funny because when I was coming up, when I was younger, I had this wrestling coach, man. I played football, I played basketball, I ran track, and he would always walk past me. Yates, you need to get in that wrestling room, dog. And I'm like, man, ain't nobody doing that, bro. But
Yeah.
then, I would always kind of peek in. And I remember I went to 2 practices. I really liked it, but something just happened where I didn't continue with it. But now when I look back at it, I'm kind of mad at myself I didn't continue it. Because let me tell you something, when you can wrestle, you can do all kind of things because I box and things of that nature. But when you can wrestle, just hand-to-hand combat, somebody who knows how to wrestle too, you're in trouble.
Oh yeah.
Because I remember I had a trainer and he told me 80 to 85% of fights or anything end up on the ground. So better be know how to grapple and have ground fighting techniques
Oh
because most of those fights are going to the ground.
yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
So let me ask you this. So I've been checking out your Twitter. Obviously, you've been competing in some camps already. That's a good thing. So what is kind of impression do you want to leave on the coaches and even the players that you're competing against? What do you kind of want to let them know, coach wise and player wise, that Jacob Slack brings to the table?
So I kind of want to leave the impression that I'm not scared to go up against anyone. Like it like I'm not that scared about it. And also like I don't stop. Like I could keep on going, and then like just maintain coverage. I love that, and have a good attitude. Always talking to the coaches and all that. Have a good attitude towards them.
Nice, nice. I like hearing that. Now, let me ask you, you playing the middle linebacker position. What's some things you want to improve on in your game as you head into your junior season? What things do you kind of want to add to your toolbox?
So I've been focusing on like outside of practice, like going out and working on my pass drops and kind of like working through like crossers and all that, flipping my hips and like running one way and then coming back the other way. Because like at that, you kind of have to like keep your eye on like you have a receiver, they're going, and you have to keep an eye on the other side. And then if they come back, you got to sprint towards them and don't let them cross your face because you got to wall off some receivers. So that's what I've been trying to really perfect so far, and also run game and like reading my guards and stuff.
Okay, I like hearing that as well. Now, you got to be able to cover if you're a linebacker these days, especially the way the game is geared. It's a
Oh,
passing league now. It's not really the run game that, obviously they'll run the ball in high school, but the higher up you go, I mean, it's a passing game now. So you got to be, as a linebacker, be able to, like you said, drop, flip the hips. You got to be able to see the coverages. You got to be able to break and catch these running backs and flares, tight ends, slot guys. They give you a lot of stuff on your shoulders to be able to do. But let me ask you this: you're playing the middle linebacker position. On the defense, are you making the calls?
yeah. So me and the other linebacker will communicate towards the safety, free safety, like strong safety, free safety. All the linemen, we give them their stunts and games, and then also the outside backer and the corners, we give those as well.
Nice. Now, do you really like that? Do you like having that communication on you? Do you like it saying, "Hey, follow me. I got this." Are you that type of player? Kind of give a little background about that.
Yeah. So I really like leading the defense. It definitely I like kind of shine at that. I
Mhm.
really um, like just like leading in general, kind of.
Nice. Okay. So when we're talking about, obviously you have a couple years left before college.
Yeah.
Okay. You got time to think about schools and things of that nature. But what type of college would really appeal to you? Is it going to be weather? The location. What's going to really stand out for Jacob Slack to really want to attend this particular college?
Basically just like the location and also like the kind of education they have there, because I
Hmm.
want to go into the medical industry, like as my mom did. Um, and like also like I mean I don't really like care like where it's placed. Like it could be anywhere, but
Hmm.
like obviously like not far out in Oregon. Mom would have to fly over there to see my game. So
So are you saying, you said not Oregon, so do you want to stay kind of near that Midwest,
yeah,
the Ohio States, the OU? Do you want to kind of stay in that bracket so your parents can see you and your family can see you?
yeah, yeah.
What's your dream school?
Ohio State. My
I
dad,
knew it.
yeah, my dad went there. He dotted the I there, so kind of want to.
Oh, nice. He dotted the I.
Yeah,
Okay, so yeah, it's serious over there, and then he's deep in Ohio State if he's dotting the I. You know what I mean?
mm,
Now,
yeah,
have you been to any of their games?
yeah. I've been to many of their games.
Okay, okay. So tell me, what's one thing besides it being in state? Obviously, you're in Ohio. What does Ohio State? Why does Ohio State appeal to you, from a personal standpoint?
I mean, just because like my dad went there, they have a good like medical program there. Uh,
Yes.
I like that place. Um, and generally just the campus because I'm kind of familiar with it. But really anywhere like in state, it like or other states around us, or like just like the East Coast, kind of like the east side of the United States is really where I would go.
All right. So I'm gonna throw a monkey wrench in this right quick. So schools are recruiting you. What if the University of Michigan comes after you and they're coming after you hard? Now, come sign with us. We want you. Woo, woo. Would you take that offer? Because I know the Ohio State, Michigan. I know how deep it is.
Oh yeah.
Would you mess with Michigan if Michigan offered you?
Yeah, I would. Yeah. It's kind of hard to like not go for an offer like that, but yeah, you kind of got to roll with it.
How do you think your parents would feel, or especially your dad?
I think my dad would still be happy about it.
Okay.
But when they he'll definitely be rooting for Ohio State. That's
For sure. Now, it was an interesting thing. We're getting ready to get off of here, and I really appreciate you taking out your time. I don't want to hold you too long, but I want to ask you a few more questions. Especially, I want to talk about the medical field. Obviously, grades are important. You have to have good grades, and especially in the medical field, you definitely have to have good grades. Kind of what leans you towards the medical field? And like you said, Ohio State has one of the top medical centers out there. Let's keep it real. But what
Mhm.
kind of draws you to the medical side of things, and why did it kind of interest you?
So my mom She was in medical school, and then now she works at BioHealth. Um, and that kind of is what like drew me there, because she like always like just talks to me about medical stuff. Like I give her shots, like
Mm-hmm.
her vitamins and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
I kind of really like that part, and also like the like good grade aspect. It like pushes me to get good grades, because
Right.
my cousin, who was being heavily recruited like by Penn State and all that, he didn't have the best grades. So when it came down time to sign, he couldn't really sign. So like because of his grades. So that's what I'm really trying to get at, is good grades and being also really good at football.
That's nice. Hey, you got to be a student athlete today. It doesn't matter how good you're on the field if you can't keep the grades. I mean, what's the point? There's tons of other kids out there handling their business, and coaches really ain't gonna take the time to wait on you any longer. They're gonna continue to move on, especially with that transfer portal going on.
Oh,
It's a whole different game now than when I was seeing it. So, hey, that's awesome as well. So, do you have any shout outs, kind of before we head off here? Some people that kind of inspire you to be great. It could be your family, it could be friends, it could be coaches. Who kind of inspires Jacob Slack to be great?
I mean, kind of like just the fact like being great, like it takes a lot of work, and like I feel like I push myself a lot. Like I go out there every day after practice, work on my linebacker skills, and that's kind of like what pushes me to be great. And I want to like I look up to Luke Kuechly. He was one of the best
Yeah,
linebackers out
yeah,
there, best
yeah.
film player. And then also Bryce Houston from our school. I look up to him too, because he's one of the best. He's really good. Um,
Hmm.
Also, like kind of like my family. I don't like my mom. Like she always pushes me to do my best. So I'm out there every day putting in the work.
I
So
like hearing that. And you know what? Folks, go check out the tape because he ain't lying. He really does put in the work. If you go look at that tape, he's really doing it. And that's one good thing. One thing I like about you already is that you're self motivated. You don't have to have somebody tell you to get up, go work out, go do these things. It sounds like to me that you're already motivated to be great on your own. So you don't have to have people just push you. You can do it yourself. But when you have that extra somebody pushing you and you already have it in yourself, that's when you become great. And I can already see those signs. So we expect greatness from you. So one last thing before we kind of get off of here. Is there anything that kind of you're looking for these next 2 years at your school? What's like one thing in these next 2 years? I know you told me about records, but what do you want the underclassmen and anybody else to remember about Jacob Slack? What do you want when you graduate from Olentangy Orange? What do you want them to say about you?
So I want like when I graduate, I want the coaches to look back and kind of like influence what they do, like influence how they like teach the mentality, how they teach it to the kids. They bring up my name, like saying that they should act like me, and like have that kind of mentality and like just that energy on the field, all that. So that's kind of really what I look forward to, is like coaches like just kind of bringing up my name towards the kids so they understand.
I like that. I like that. So do you consider yourself a leader?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Now, are you more leader by example or are you leader by words?
I'm a leader by example. Yeah,
Okay. I like that too because you know what? Everybody can say words, but people watch, and your words can do all that. But if they don't see you putting in the work, people ain't really gonna follow you. And ain't really gonna respect you.
yeah,
So, like I said, I like that already about you because you're putting in work and people watching. And the younger the underclassmen are gonna be looking towards you. And when they see you putting in that work every single day, when nobody else is telling you, like you said, when you're staying after practice, when you're working on your drills, when you're working on your craft, when you're trying to get better, those underclassmen, Jacob, are always watching you. So you continue to do that, and great things are going to come from you.
yeah.
Once I want to just tell you thank you for taking out your time of the day to be able to give me this awesome interview. I see great things. We definitely want to see you get Olentangy Berlin. Am I correct in that name?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we definitely want to see you get that revenge game, and we definitely want to see you turn up in these camps. And I tell all the athletes before they get off of here, whatever camps you go to, and you can get some film, please post that film on like your Twitter so I can download it, because I post all those highlights on my YouTube, on my Facebook, and on my Twitter accounts, because we want to continue to let you people know about Jacob Slack and what he has to offer. So the more tape you can give me, the more I'll spread the word for you. You know what I mean?
Oh,
So
yeah.
is there any last words before we get off here?
Not really.
Okay, well, hey, man, you know what? I appreciate you. We'd love to get another interview, especially after you beat. We're going to say it. We're going to say you're going to beat them. We ain't going to say we hope. We're going to say you're going to end the win streak.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to say you're going to beat them. And then after you beat them, we're going to bring you back on, and we're going to be like, hey, Jake, remember when we was talking about that? Oh, yeah, I seen you smack them, and then you had like 15 tackles, two sacks, an interception, a forced fumble. Those are the kind of numbers I'm trying to hear. So make sure I put the pressure on you. So be ready, all right? So for myself, Big Game James, Mr. Linebacker himself, Jacob Slack, we will be talking to you soon in the high school ranks.
Oh,
Peace.
Yeah.
Take it easy.
See ya.